All right, let's just see this as just a reaction piece to it. Okay, so how did you hear about the Trayvon Martin case?
On Twitter. Twitter is where I initially heard about the Trayvon Martin case. And initially, I deliberately didn't look at it. I just, because the historical experiences of African Americans in America, I just did not want to look at the case.
And what sort of prompted you to look at the case eventually?
It didn't go away. Social media literally did not let the case die. And I'm glad, ultimately when I really did get into it, obviously it's a huge deal for anybody, not just a black child, a white child, a poor child. It's really about anybody's child in America. We are in a free country. Nobody has a right to go up to any American citizen and challenge them and say, what are you doing here? That's just illegal, period. Not to get into the unethical and, of course, the unconscionable in terms of murder.
Mm-hmm. And did you see what Geraldo Rivera said about the case?
I heard about it. I did not watch the Geraldo clip. It surfaced. There's so much out there right now that I'm trying to be very, very careful about what I consume, especially as a journalist, because I want to make sure that I keep everything fact-based. And, the main thing is this: it's not in the Constitution. You are not legally allowed to walk up to somebody and make them prove why they are here. That is not legal, period. So, we're dealing with some very serious issues, no matter what Trayvon's background is. I know now they're talking about he was suspended from school. That has nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with the fact that somebody shot him in the back of the head, which lets you know it's not self-defense.
Mm-hmm. And
or leads to the thought that I'm a journalist, leads to the thought it's not self-defense.
Well, bouncing off what you just said right there, as a journalist, how would you advise young journalists to cover a sensitive story like this?
It's difficult. You really have to separate your emotions. Clearly, again, there is a history. But we have got to do our best to be fact-based journalists. We have to go straight with the facts. Right now, what the facts are, the little boy is dead. The man who allegedly shot him has not been questioned, has not been arrested. A background check was not done, nor was an alcohol or drug sobriety test taken at that time to measure his intake of any of those substances, if any. And so when you deal with just the facts of the case, you let the public decide. And so that's it. Trayvon was in a neighborhood he didn't grow up in, he didn't live in. Those are facts. If he was suspended from school, okay, that's a fact. But the fact still is this child is dead and no true investigation has ensued by the local police department just yet.
Is there anything else that you want to add about the case?
That's it. Just be good journalists. Ask the questions. There are a lot of hard questions to ask. Don't be afraid when you're dealing with race to deal with factual racial history of America. It's there. It's the albatross. It's the elephant in the room. We don't want to talk about it. We fought a freaking civil war over it. So, let's stop being so naive and afraid of dealing with real issues.